to our meeting this evening. Our first order of business,
If you'd like me to agenda.
yes, please.
Madam Chair, I move we amend the agenda by adding item number 18, quote, consider approval of allocation of funds from the Griffin Spalding County Hospital Authority to Spalding County toward the purchase of hydraulic extrication equipment in the amount of $10,000, end quote. Second.
All right, we have a motion and second to amend the agenda. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, it is unanimous. Thank you. All right, item number 1 is to recognize the city's water and wastewater plants for the Gold and Platinum Awards from the Georgia Association of Water Professionals. Director of Public Works and Utilities, Dr. Greg Keller, will address.
Thanks. On behalf of GAWP, I'm on the executive committee. This year, 3 of our plants received the Platinum Award, meaning they've been in compliance for more than 5 years in a row with no consents and no violations. And those plants are the Still Branch Regional Reservoir Treatment Plant, Harry Simmons Water Treatment Plant, and Potato Creek Wastewater Treatment Plant. We received gold awards, and next year all our plants will be in platinum, I hope. Cabin Creek received the gold award, and Shoal Creek received the gold award. And I have 2 people here tonight, just wanted to let you see a face, because they're going to be leading the team, or part of the team. Mike Melton, can you stand up, please? He's the superintendent at Still Branch Regional Reservoir, and GAWP will be here hopefully the next meeting. We received Plant of the Year Award for the state of Georgia for the 9.9 MGD through the 14 point they do in the classifications. And also Mike will be the person on the team that's spearheading the upgrade of the 12 MGD to the Still Branch Regional Reservoir.
May I interrupt you, sir? Could you have Mike come forward so I can actually see him? I'd like to recognize him.
No, it looks
So would you come? We appreciate
like
it.
in the dark back.
Thank you.
Oh, you're almost as big as Dr. Keller. That is really in your favor.
I'll take mine.
And the second person I brought this evening who received the Platinum Award, James, you might also come up so they can see you too. James's plant, he has a nice challenge down at Potato Creek, as you all know, because all our industrial treatment goes there. And James will be spearheading the process when we begin the upgrade Potato Creek wastewater treatment plant at the end of the year. So these 2 folks are the people that are part of the team. And they're the main drivers, and I don't really want to brag on them, but I will because I want to be short. But without operators, they're the people that catch the engineer's mistakes before you design the plant to make sure it works effectively. So these 2 people are the folks that will be on the team. And I want to say thank you to y'all for letting us do our job, and 2, that we have people that can make these type of awards happen. And Mike will be back here probably in 3 weeks at the next meeting of this plan. Thank you.
At this time, the chairperson opens the floor to comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for a public hearing or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings are the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. The chairperson reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. Is there anyone on my left who would like to come forward and make a comment? Is there anyone on my right who would like to come forward and make a comment? If not, then we will go into our public hearings. And as all of you know, public hearings are conducted to allow public comment on specific advertised issues such as rezoning, ordinances, policy development, operating budgets, and other legislative actions to be considered by the City Commission. At this time, we will receive comments regarding a request to amend the Unified Development Code of the City of Griffin, published as Article 12, Signs, Section 1214, with respect to regulation of signs by land use emerging corridor. Director of Planning and Development Services, Taurus Freeman, will address if we have questions.
Madam Chairman, members of the board, due to a high number of variance requests that we received for our urban corridor areas, staff is recommending amending our current sign code. What we'll do is to allow new or existing buildings over 5,000 square feet, additional signage, and for ground signs, we will increase the height from 5 feet to 6 feet. This right here will allow a lot of the variances that we've had over the past couple months to become a non-issue and also be able to better serve the public.
This is a public hearing. If anyone in the audience would like to come forward and comment on this change, please come forward. If not, then we will go into our consent agenda.
Madam Chair, if there is no objection, I would move that we approve the entire consent agenda at once.
We do not have minutes from the workshop, so we really only have
Yeah, I need-
items 4 and 5.
We have them from our regular scheduled meeting. though.
Right, we do.
All right, let me amend that, you're right, I forgot that. I move that we approve items 3, 4, and 5 with the exception of the joint workshop minutes.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve 3, 4, and 5 with the exception of the joint workshop. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, it is unanimous. Thank you. All right, now we go into our regular agenda, and we will remove from the table and consider first reading of amendment to the Unified Development Code of the City of Britain, published as Article 12, signs Section 1214 with respect to regulation of signs by land use emerging card.
First, Madam Chair, I move we remove this from the table of consideration.
All right, we have a motion to remove in a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. It is unanimous, okay?
Number 2, I move that we approve on first reading this amendment as presented.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, it is unanimous. Thank you. Item number 7, consider proposal with.
I want to make
Oh.
a motion to table items number 7 and number 8.
But that 7 you just approved of?
No, it's 6 was what was approved.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion to table items 7 and 8. Do I have a second?
Is that to the next meeting?
Yeah, I can do the next week.
All right, to May what, 14th? Is that it? Okay. Do I have a second? All right, so we have a motion and a second to table items number 7 and 8. So all in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, it is unanimous. Thank you.
You won't tell me what additional information we can get you before the next meeting?
He's asking for additional information.
Well, I think-
Just whatever your questions are, we'll address.
I think in number 8 particularly, there are real concerns about the new fee schedule, what it might or might not do.
Yeah.
And I think we need to sit down and discuss that further. Is that what you?
Okay, is that sufficient, Kenny?
That's when we
Okay, and I
want to
think we have
discuss
a-
it more at the next meeting, or you want to take it, bring it to a workshop, or you want to do it individually? or-
I think somehow we need to include the ladies down at the Welcome Center and what their observations are, in some sort of a forum. You would, I don't know.
We basically were the ones that brought it up, that got us to this point. That's kind of where it came from.
I know, but they're not pleased with the end product, and they voice their concerns, and some of them sound reasonable to me, so.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's what.
Yeah, I had my own concerns.
Okay, I mean, I would be glad to hear from the chamber
Same
people,
thing.
they're the ones that brought it up and got us to this point.
Yeah, that too, but just, anyway, this, I want to table.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna meet with them, or we're gonna just meet as a board, or
We
we're
can
gonna?
do it, if y'all want to do it on a workshop, it don't matter to me, just, which individual sit down,
President, just board, and we should meet with, I don't think we need to meet with them.
We're having a budget meeting on the 14th.
Planning to, but it's not definite at this point, but I'm hoping to have the budget ready for the
14th
For the
meeting.
14th.
We could potentially talk about that.
Okay, you could add it to that. If we plan to have a workshop for the budget, we can surely add that to it.
Okay.
Because most of us should want to do something on the budget. Okay, is that, did we vote? All right, we have a motion and a second to table items number 7 and 8. We did vote?
Yes, we do.
All right, item number 9, consider approval to declare 22 vehicles surplus and advertise for sale on Gov. Deals. Phil Francis is here if you need any information.
Chair, I move we declare the such vehicles surplus and sell them on Gov. Deals.
All right, we have a second? All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. It is unanimous. Thank you. Item number 10, consider resolution authorizing the acquisition of a Caterpillar Model 826HQ wheel dozer and compactor for the Shoal Creek C&D landfill from Yancey Brothers in the amount of $623,716 to be financed by a multi-year lease pursuant to OCGA 36-60-13 with Caterpillar Financial Services Corp. at a rate not to exceed 3.2%. Said lease is being designated as a qualified tax exempt obligation of the city for calendar year 2013. The resolution also authorizes the chairperson and other city officers to execute and deliver documents to accomplish the foregoing, declare surplus unit number 965, 1993 Rex compactor model 370, and amend the budget accordingly.
I'll go ahead and lead off. I think Marcus and Phil both have parts of this, but Phil's got I'll let him address his need, but basically the Rex compactor is dead. It can't be repaired, which he wants to surplus and sell gov deals. He's gone to Yancey Brothers, who's the sales representative for Caterpillar, and they hooked him up with this 826 HQ wheel dozer and compactor, which does have a pretty significant price tag on it. Caterpillar Financial Services Corporation, which is actually separate from Yancey Brothers, they're the vendor and the other is the lender. They will lease this piece of equipment. In other words, title will pass from Yancey technically to Caterpillar Finance, who in turn will lease it to the city of Griffin for a 6-year lease term, which is set out under the special consideration section of your agenda summary. Provided, though, you issue this as part of a tax exempt obligation of the city. By federal law, you qualify as what's known as a small issuer. You can issue for governmental purposes up to $10 billion a year in obligations, which this lease would be deemed as a tax exempt lease. Caterpillar would initially take it, and then in turn they're going to probably sell it to somebody else who wants to buy tax exempt obligations from their portfolio. So we've got a little bit of an unusual situation. Normally in these leases, I would not be asked to deliver an opinion. In this one, the opinion is basically twofold: that A, the lease is in accordance with Georgia law and it'd be a valid binding obligation of the city in accordance with state law, and B, that the city has taken the necessary steps under the Internal Revenue Code to issue this as a tax exempt obligation.
Have we done that?
And that's what this resolution does. And then I think Marcus particularly wants to address the budget amendment aspect of it.
Okay, sure. We have set aside some revenues that we've identified within solid waste, within the recycling program and demolition projects. That brings an estimated another $40,000 to the table for the rest of this fiscal year, which will then offset the $20,000 that we'll need for the lease payment for each month for May and June to cover the debt. What it will also cover is, in the future, we're going to set aside the lease payment and future demolition projects that are coming in to cover the debt. The implication, as what Mr. Whalen is alluding to, that this is a government obligation and a government debt, is that it may impact the debt limits and debt ratios. Now, just to bring that to the table right quick, it's based on 10% of the appraised value on the tax digest. As of 2012, that digest was $53,975,000. So 10% of that is where our limit would be. So we're at $4,427,000. If we add another $623,000 to that, we're almost at $5 million. So $53,975,000, 10% of that, we're well underneath the limit of debt requirements.
Yes, that's why you're on.
I might point out also that this is a lease structured on a calendar basis. The First year will start when the equipment is delivered and accepted by the city to run to December 31st, with a single payment in each of the first 5 years of $94,971.75. At the end of the 6th year, which is only going to run from January 1 to April 30th, 2018, there's a balloon payment due of $218,272. Yancey Brothers is giving us a written guarantee that at that point in time, if we want to trade in the equipment, they will give us credit of $218,272. So that will alleviate having to make that last payment if we trade the equipment in on new equipment. Which, Phil might talk to you some about the life expectancy of this equipment, but that's kind of their normal life cycle, what they were telling us earlier.
You said somebody gonna buy that lease back?
We're gonna buy the equipment back.
Is there a used one out there that you looked at, potentially? Saw on your phone?
Not anything available. I'll discuss it with you.
No, but the magnitude of this piece of equipment, it weighs 70 tons. And to get used equipment would put us back in the same position we were in, when did we buy that other compactor? 2003. And we've incurred a substantial amount of expenditures for repairs to the blades, to the engines, to the hydraulics. As the equipment ages, it exponentially adds an operating cost to this operation. To go into a new piece of equipment will, A, provide new technology that will work more efficiently, more effectively, both operationally and cost effectively. This will, over the life of this lease, will add a tremendous amount of value to the compaction that goes into the ground, so it affords more waste to go into the landfill, and will prolong the life of the equipment, because they're gonna come out, they're gonna service it, they're gonna maintain it, life cycle it, at the end of the 6 years, turn it in, and then my recommendation is to go ahead and get another piece of equipment, keep that life cycle management program in place, because the salvage value alone over time will add additional positive cash flow and value to the operation. It's going to help reduce
So you're
costs.
saying that what it will produce will more than cover the lease payment?
Based on the demolition projects that are in the pipeline currently, yes.
And so the service in Allen is covered under these costs already?
Yes.
It's defined as a TM&R, which is a total maintenance and repair lease at $5.14 an hour, accrued at 83 hours a month. So that would equate to 5,000 hours, over the life of the lease. And our current machines running, that when it was running, was costing the city a little over $78 an hour to run. With the current technology, it was burning around 11 gallons of fuel per hour. With the new Tier 4 technology that's in with these engines, we're talking about going to about a 5 gallon per hour fuel usage, and our maintenance costs from $34, as far as just the pure maintenance, down to $5.19 per hour, and that's guaranteed for the life of the lease. And at the end of the lease, like Counselor was saying, we got a $218,000 guaranteed buyback that we can actually put back into the same type of lease for the same type of equipment that knocked that 600 to be 400, that type of thing. A lot of cities do this, in a lot of municipalities, a lot of counties, and one that comes to mind is Troup County. They took on 14 pieces of equipment, well over $3.7 billion under this same type of government lease from Caterpillar. And in my conversations with the county manager over there, said it was their maintenance costs, as far as for their roads and bridges and all, is flat, because they know exactly what it's going to cost them each month. And this is their second 5-year go-around. So really, all the fair market value of the equipment at the end of the lease period is much more, because it's been maintained by Caterpillar. And I will have to send a mechanic out to work on it, okay, number one. It flatlines my costs at the landfill when it comes down to budgeting. Well, I know exactly what it's going to cost us. I don't have to budget $42,000 for an engine or $60,000 for a final drive or something to that effect, and really impact the budget. So, when it's all said and done, basically, we have some engineering specifications that we have to maintain, at any landfill, whether it's a construction demolition or subtitle E or anything to that nature, we have to have a certain permeability compaction in the base of these cells that we open. Right now, we don't, because we're not compacting. The two new cells that we open on phase 2 is going to have about a 12-year life expectancy. It's cut to nearly 7 years right now. We can't get the compaction. With that, the airspace in the landfill is your revenue, is your money, is your escrow. That's where your money is airspace. When you fill up, you can't go any further, and you can't go out. And then you have to pay another thousands and thousands of dollars for engineering. It's not a want. It's a necessity, and I implore you to take that under consideration. And at the end of these 5-year period, we turn it back in. We get another machine. My costs are flat. The revenue is there, be able to cover it, and I appreciate your consideration.
How long does it run at a time?
We're basing this on a 5-year, 5,000-hour lease, which is an average of 84 hours a month that the machine is actually, and that's the industry standard, about 84 hours a month. So you take that divided by 4 weeks, 20 hours a week.
I didn't know if it ran just continuously.
No. Just whenever we get a big load of waste in, we have to cover, we have to compact the load, and then we have to, by law, what they call do daily cover over the material. Right now, we're not getting there because we use bulldozers in it, and I got a huge transmission that just failed, so we're just not using the right stuff in the right place.
If I'm correct here on the numbers that you presented, over a 5,000-hour use,
Yes.
the reduction in operating costs of fuel is a total of $150,000 less over 5 years to operate. That's
Easy. We're using around 11 gallons an hour right now, which is absurd, but back in those, when the machine was out, diesel was 54 cents a gallon, and you used it, and you belched black smoke everywhere. But with the new EPA regulations, with the Tier 4 engines and all of the extra engineering and air quality issues that have to go with it, we're just kind of stuff. We're at a point where it's just got to happen, to do what we need to do.
Right. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the authorization of this lease and budget amendment, this machinery as presented.
I said,
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, it is unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Item number 11, consider a letter of agreement from Manley Acquisition Services LLC to negotiate acquisition of easements and rights of way for the 2008 SPLOST project CSSTP-008-00, then 237 and 238 intersection and signal improvement parcels. Dr. Keller will address if necessary.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve
Second.
and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, it is unanimous. Thank you. Next is to consider the purchase of and startup of 2 frigates. Wow. Frigate MPs 3171, 095, 35 horsepower pumps for Shoal Creek Wastewater Treatment Plant, lift station number 14, in the amount of $61,045.81 from Xylem Water Solutions USA Incorporated, and amend the budget accordingly.
Madam Chair, I move we approve this budget amendment.
Second motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor, please raise your right hand.
that must be on the fleet.
Yeah. That's like Flint, almost, but it's got a G there instead of that.
I think it's pronounced flight, but I like to look at that.
Oh, is it? What is it for now?
It's flight.
It is flight.
Hey, you're just gonna let us sit up here and keep saying it wrong.
Hey, I've been listening for 10 years.
It started their budget hearings last year, remember? It's all Dick's fault.
All right, most things are. Okay, item number 13. Consider approval to award best bid in construction contract to Shepco, Avon, whatever, Incorporated, in the amount of $240,906.75 for resurfacing city streets as part of the local maintenance and improvement grant fiscal year 2013 MIG program, the MIG program approved by Georgia Department of Transportation, GDOT, which is 12/31/2012, and amend the budget accordingly.
I'd like to make a motion to approve and let it be known that this is one of those unfunded mandates where we can pay 30% into our general assembly fund for their local governments.
That's All right, we have a motion and do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion and a second to approve. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, it is unanimous. Thank you.
And we're still gonna work towards getting the street, this stuff.
This is last year's.
This is
Last
last
year.
year's.
Yes, sir.
All right, item number 14, consider resolution determining the necessity to acquire land for sewer improvements to be constructed under the 2012 Community Development Block Grant Phase 4, consisting of 3 permanent and temporary construction easements on Realty Street.
Back in the last agenda, I think Brant had a contract, which was awarded to a contractor to do the physical work on this 2012 CDBG project, which Mr. Holbrook and I abstained from. Part of that work involves building a new sewer line. One of the existing lines on the project currently runs under a house. The 3 sewer easements we're going to require. There are other houses that they're going to be connected, but their sewer lines don't require easements on their properties. Only one does. So this is going to, first off, to declare the necessity to acquire the land for sewer easements to run the new sewer line. You're also establishing the initial value to be offered. And as you've done in the past, we're not going to hire an appraiser initially to go out, since these are only easements and they're generally very low cost. We're using the county tax appraisal. I'll go ahead and say that on the next agenda item, number 15, your easement acquisition policy, we're amending that policy. When we adopted it back in 2006, we put a multiplier of 20% because at that time, the county had been told by the state revenue department that their values on the digest were about 20% under. That's been cured now by the reevaluation last year. So we're taking that multiplier out and using the 2012 digest numbers, which we just received, and they're all sent out here on the summary sheet. There are 3 parcels. A1 is Doug's father, M. Douglas Holberg Jr. A2 is owned by Renee Vaughn, Don Vaughn's daughter. And A3 is Michael Khalifa's. So, in a nutshell, that's it.
Okay, all righty, you've heard the explanation. Do I have a motion that we approve? All right, and do we have a second?
Second.
All right, and Ms. Holberg is going to abstain. Right, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, it's 601 or 610, whatever. Okay, thank you. Item number 15, consider first reading of an ordinance amending the Code of Griffin at Chapter 94 Utilities, Article 9, easement acquisition, policy section 94-376 by deleting the present code in its entirety and enacting a new section 94-376, eliminating the 20% multiplier in paragraph B, which you just explained. All right?
That's right.
All right, we have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, it is unanimous. Thank you. Item number 16, consider a 1-year lease between the City of Griffin and Wayland Law Firm, LLP, for suites 520 and 524 in One Griffin Center for $11,170 per year. Kenny Smith will address.
Mr. Whalen reviewed the lease, it's okay.
Do we have an attorney to review his work?
Madam Chair, I move we approve the leases today.
All right, and do a motion and a second. All in favor, please say, raise your right hand. All right, it is unanimous.
Thank you.
Item number 17, I understand we've had a request to take from Mr. Wilson. So, do I have a motion to table this?
Oh, that's news to me.
Motion to table.
Yeah, Mr. Wilson called me this afternoon and respectfully requested from the county that we table this.
All right, so we have,
Not all I know.
all right, do we have a motion to table?
I make a motion.
And a second?
Is this indefinitely to the next meeting? Are we?
We don't know. We'll just
That
put
was
it,
all the information I got. I'm not sure what us tabling it has to do with the county. We can table it when we got.
if we don't put a date, we can still bring it up at the next meeting, can't we?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, to a date uncertain?
Uncertain, yes. All right, we have a motion and a second to table this to a date uncertain. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. And this was at the request of the county manager. Okay, I think that's our whole agenda. Oh, that's right, item 18. Did I do it? Right. Item number 18, consider approval of allocation of funds from the Spalding County Hospital Authority to Spalding County for the purchase of hydraulic extrication equipment in the amount of $10,000.
Chair, I move we approve.
All right, motion and a second to approve. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, it is unanimous. Thank you. All right, now, city manager. You have one?
Don't forget our road diet experiment starts on Monday, so when the phone starts ringing,
Wait, what starts on Monday?
the road diet experiment on Hill Street.
Slow fast program?
Oh, I already had someone call and tell me that they were very happy that I was displeased with it before we even started, so I'm good.
We have a couple
We're
of,
doing
I
an
already
experiment,
got you.
not just
We
doing
haven't
it.
even started yet. I'm
yes, sir, a
good.
couple of new people on staff. It dawned on me that I didn't tell them to come tonight, but our new Main Street manager, Kendall Woodard, is here. If you hadn't had a chance to meet her, she's on board now. And our new DDA director, Kenlon Hayes. I know some of you have met Kenlon, he's not here tonight, but if you haven't met him, stop by and do that. And I just didn't tell him to be here tonight, just sitting around. That's all I have.
All right, Drew, anything else?
I don't have anything else, but I would let y'all know that the reason we're trying to move over here is I've got to put a new top on my building over there. And it's going to be quite a process apparently. We've got a contractor lined up for about 6 months, but the fear is that when we start taking the roof off, if we have one of these spring showers, dumps 3 inches, it might wash out the rest of the building and then leak down on us over the last several months or so. But my hope is to go ahead and dry it out, get a good roof on the building, and then probably put it on the market.
That sounds great. How close you gonna be to the other law firm here?
I guess
Both
more.
up it,
I got one above and one below, so
Just
Oh,
say.
wow. That's gonna be quite a busy elevator, isn't it?
It's going to be the legal power of power.
I believe so. Wow, that's good. Okay,